yeah, hey, welcome to So What'd You Learn, the podcast where we learn from other people's mistakes so you don't have to unless you want to, but that's your own prerogative. I am Alex.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dallas.
And we have a very special guest with us today. His name is Jacob. Yeah, woo. Please, sir, put your top back on. It's fine.
Yeah, this is a Shirts On podcast.
Yeah.
Can I at least cut the sleeves off my shirt?
You can do whatever you want.
I think it's acceptable.
All right.
You know, no areolas need to be exposed.
Fair enough.
I fought that rule hard, I'll have you know.
You know, and I wore him down over time.
Free the nipple.
So how'd you all feel this morning when you woke up?
Oh, I was fine.
I was fine. To be honest.
Zach was so kind as to supply me with a tub of freshly cooked pulled pork.
Tub-o pork.
When you said tub, I was like, of coleslaw, mayonnaise, tartar sauce.
Yes, I just gave Dallas a tub of mayonnaise to eat as he Ubered home.
After we got done drinking, and then I Ubered home with it, and I was holding it in my lap, and it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I ate all of it, or most all of it, and apparently I crashed, and I went to bed, and then I went to work, and then funny bone. Something? Okay, we're good. And I got home from work this morning because I was in a rush, obviously, because I slept for 5 hours. And I came home, and there's 2 pillows from the couch just perfectly arranged on the side I don't sleep, with the jacket on the bed as well. Mm-hmm. And my first thought was somebody broke into my house. And my second thought was I ate a bunch of pulled pork with ghost pepper barbecue sauce at 1:30 in the morning and probably sleptwalked and did some weird shit
on top of a belly full of booze.
Yeah, there's that too. That
Did you notice the strange pentagram on your living room floor in pig's blood?
No, I didn't. Mac is still alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mac was just chanting and
You're like, hey, Katie, how you doing?
Head spins around. Well, that's not normal.
Oh, well, I didn't know cats made that sound.
Mac, you've evolved.
No. So, it's been a week. How have you guys been? What'd you do?
I've been fine. I've been trying to get my
God.
passport renewed. It's been a travesty. I filled all the forms out, had to jettison 4 online forms. It was like, we'll fill it out for you. I'm like, cool, but if I fill anything in wrong, I have to delete everything, fill it in again. So I did that, got my money order, went to the grocery store, got a money order, went to the UPS store, filled everything out, put everything in the envelope. And I was like, sweet, got that done right before the UPS store closes. It's always a bad time to do anything because then I walked to meet my boyfriend. And then when I was standing up at the bar waiting to order a drink, I was like, oh no.
That record scratch thought hits you.
I filled out that money order wrong. I didn't include my city, state, or zip code on my money order. So who knows? Maybe they'll send it back to me in a month or 2.
Beautiful.
With a note that says, you're an idiot. Or maybe they'll connect the fact that my money order is the same name as on my application, as on my passport, and my application has my address. Hopefully, it'll all figure itself out. But since we're dealing with the federal government, it probably won't.
Probably. I'd say you got about a good 60% chance that it'll be okay, that it'll just get passed through.
I honestly hope so, because I'm tired of having to go to bars where they know me.
It does limit your options quite a bit.
We went to a bar in town. I was like, Chance was like, let's go to this place. I was like, cool, we could do that. Oh, wait, no, They took my expired passport card, and then they were like, this seems suspicious. So they came back, and they're like, can I see that again? And I'm like, sure, of course.
Why?
I was like, absolutely, because, the cool thing about lying or trying to get away with shit is don't be suspicious. Be like, oh, sure, of course you can. Yeah. And I showed it to them.
I'm a normal person.
It's expired. 2, the expiration date is chipped off of the card due to just wear and tear. It is delaminated and the expiration date is gone.
Beautiful. So it looks like you tried to sand it off.
Yeah. So they look at it a second time. They're like, cool, here you go. Just gave me a booze. I would like one booze, please. They had no problem with that. So, but I didn't want to, tempt fate twice. So we ended up going, unfortunately, to the same place. But see, I'd seen that bartender before, and I was like, "Oh, hey." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm only here one day a week." I'm like, "Yet I see you every time I'm here."
Go figure.
That's how you do that. You're like, "I've been here before. You know me.
You know me, right?
You know me. You've seen me. You've totally carded me in the past." And I totally got served, which is, if you're listening and you're underage.
I was going to say, pro tip on getting
pro
drinks
tip
without
on
an
getting
ID.
drinks without an ID. It also doesn't help that the town we're in has been cracked down by LCB a whole bunch. So,
Sure
people
has.
are just like,
Yeah,
I know you,
LCB.
but fuck you. Anyway, so that's my chicanery for the week.
Well, now that we're done caring about your story, Zach,
Wow,
I'm just kidding.
Dallas.
Throwing
kidding.
some shade. No, truthfully, I had one of those weeks where, you just cruise through it at a solid medium and nothing really exciting happened.
At least nothing bad happened.
That's true. Yeah, it is. Yeah, nothing. It was a solid, not a flat line, but,
You're supposed to be out there getting yourself in trouble to generate content for the podcast.
someone also has to pay the rent on my apartments and go to work. And, as much as fun as it is to you'd say I got into a horrible car accident on my way to work,
As fun as that would be.
right? But think of the content. But no, I have to be sober and awake for my job, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Employment, boo.
Right.
yeah. Jacob, you've for to my knowledge have prepared a story for us today, or maybe multiple.
But before you do that, how has your week
yeah.
been?
Yeah.
I would say fair to middling.
Fair to middling?
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
But the week's not over.
That's
Mm.
true.
Is it?
It is only Wednesday.
The night is young, my
Friday.
friends.
That, too. It's Friday.
Fourth wall. Meant Dallas, fourth wall.
I was just saying this is one of my favorite versions of our episodes because none of us know or have any idea what the fuck you're going to talk about. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be
Yes.
interesting.
Well,
yeah, we're excited to hear. But any other things we should put up at the top before we get into this?
Yes, we're changing it up a little bit this week. We're putting our plugs at the beginning. If you like our show and you want to give us a review or a rating on iTunes or whatever platform you choose to listen to us on, please do so because that helps us
Do things better.
get
Yeah.
seen and it puts our listing up higher or whatever. I don't know how algorithms work, but
No one does.
yeah, who knows? It's a mystery. It's science, technology, magic. But if you want to give us a review, do so. And if you have a story you want us to read about a lesson you learned from your life, but you don't want to necessarily record a voice message or you aren't able to be on the show, send us an email at sowdwylearn@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sowdwylearnpod.
Correct.
Yep.
And
We're Skype capable now.
Ooh,
for sure.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, which is also really cool. I think I've updated our fact sheet. So if you do want to come on, we can send you a fact sheet about all the stuff. But
We're professionals.
yeah, I know how jobs work.
But yeah, like
It's
and follow us on
cool.
all the social medias and whatever podcasts. And honestly, tell a friend about it. That's probably the best way. Some word of mouth.
Yeah.
And if you like it, tell somebody that also might be interested in this weird nonsense we're doing.
Yeah, and
If
if
you
you
both
hate
hate-
it, keep it to your fucking self.
Also that, yeah.
or as I like to say, just talk shit amongst yourselves.
Yes, in your own
But,
head,
yeah.
so no one else can hear you. Anyway, now that that's out of the way,
Yes.
Yep.
Jacob, you have a story for us.
I do.
Oh, let me get the spotlight out.
Oh, yes.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Right in the eyes.
Let me preface this whole thing by saying that I'm probably not the greatest storyteller. I know this is probably a bad time to bring that up. Neither
are we.
We just got done recording, and I learned that I could use some little improvement on my storytelling myself. So,
Well, fake it till you make it, boys.
Mm-hmm.
The audience doesn't know how
And,
bad we are yet.
Despite Dallas's instructions, I did not write down any notes
Ah.
prior to coming here. But
Fun.
You're
I-
by
I
the
have a-
seat
I'm
of
gonna
your pants
freestyle
type
it.
guy.
yeah,
the dome.
I-
I'm gonna
that's how
freestyle
most
it.
people do it, and I have a feeling you probably told this story before. Maybe.
I think I have. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
This was many moons ago when I was
Awesome.
still a reasonably young person. Sort of, kind of. My tale begins at a time in my life when little bit tough time in my life. I left not under the best circumstances of my job.
Yeah.
I'd broken up with my girlfriend who I'd lived with. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this isn't a downer story, by the way. This is just the beginning.
That's fine
so-
either way.
It just starts a little bit of
Yeah.
a downer. Gotcha.
Feeling a little low. So I have some time on my hands, and a good friend of mine who I grew up with, he and his girlfriend at the time, his now wife, were living in Spain, in Madrid. And I figured, why don't I go to Madrid?
Sure.
Yeah,
see some friendos. See
Yeah.
some. That's
like,
what they call them over there, friendos, right?
Madrid on one hand, stay at home and do nothing on the other. I can't decide.
Unemployed at home. Cool.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I want to say I planned the trip for, it was about a month or so. Anyway, so
Okay.
pretty decent trip. I got, I could go stay with them, so I just had to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd never been out of North America, so that was cool to
Yeah.
look forward to that. Anyway, so get to Madrid. I don't know if you guys have ever been to
Nope.
Spain.
Never have. Always wanted to.
My family comes from there way, way back. Not necessarily Madrid, but, Mexico City.
España.
But, oh, no, different Spain? Whatever. I don't know. I don't know how countries work. No.
We can discuss geography later.
And, long story short about Madrid is it's pretty fantastic. And
So I've heard.
my friends, they had a nice flat in an area in Madrid. It's called Chueca. It's kind of like the Capitol Hill of Madrid.
Nice.
Neat.
But like,
You say
Capitol
Capitol Hill
Hill
of Madrid, meaning like
The 90s capital?
the
of
90s,
Madrid?
like the gay district of Madrid, or like this
It's
kind
just
of
hip.
The
hip,
hip fun.
it's
hip
not,
bar crawl
yeah, I guess I
district.
still, being the old guy that I am, I still think of Capitol Hill the way it was, not the way it is.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but just a bunch of bars, a lot of fun, music.
Yeah, like nightlife.
A lot of nightlife, not
And-
younger people, I'm assuming.
And nightlife in Madrid is different than nightlife in Seattle. Like, you go to dinner early at 10 p.m.
Oh.
And the club
and places are open.
and the club stays open till 10 a.m. the next morning.
Wow.
kind of thing. So-
Because you actually have siestas, because people actually in other countries care about their bodies and their health, so they take breaks.
And they're like, hey, maybe I should take a fucking nap. And you're like, you know what? That sounds great.
right? And
I'm all for that. We
Yeah.
should do that.
yeah,
So,
nap time, come back.
I got there, I arrived, it's experiencing the whole old Europe vibe and
It's a
with
beautiful
with
city.
my friends, yep. I'd never done the siesta thing. We, bust out some nice bread and cheese and wine and enjoy that. And I don't know if you ever had these moments in your life that you like always remember, just like this very simple little thing, but it's like
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
I just remember after, drinking some of the wine, having some cheese, whatever, it's siesta time, just laying down on their couch there, just going to sleep, and it's just
Oh no,
like
that sounds fucking
total,
amazing.
total euphoric kind of situation.
Yeah.
How long is siesta normally? Is it like
In my
2
recollection,
hours?
it's on the long side, maybe 2 hours, hour to 2 hours. So everything
sounds about right.
closes. I don't know if it's still
Everybody
like this.
takes
Somebody-
The bank closes.
That's
Everybody
really
goes.
beautiful.
And,
Yeah,
Can
no,
you
everyone.
explain to me
everyone
how
they
siesta
take-
works? Because I have no idea what you guys are talking
So
about.
culturally, in places like Spain, maybe Portugal, I don't know if they
In
do
Spanish-
siesta as
Spanish
well.
culture.
Spanish culture.
in that
Siesta
right.
is like a nap in the middle of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So in countries like Spain, they will actually shut everything down right around the same time for up to hour and a
All the
half, 2 hours.
businesses,
So
all-
everyone kind of like fucks off for a minute. They either like have a little wine, have some bread, have some cheese, whatever, or they literally take a nap. And it's kind of like a midday sort of refresher
Yeah.
nap so that you can be with it and cogent as the night goes on.
Yeah.
Just been part of their
Sounds great.
culture for a long time.
I want this in America.
Yeah,
but it
no,
will
it'd be
never
fucking
happen
great.
because the Protestant work ethic
Alex for
makes it
president.
impossible.
Governor. Seattle siesta.
I should like
Make
hashtag
it happen,
Bernie Sanders,
Captain.
hashtag
Seattle
siesta.
That's a great hashtag.
Yeah. We're using it.
We are stealing that.
I don't even. It probably exists.
Probably.
already. Sometimes I come up with some weird ones. Anyway, back to
Yeah, it's a very easy habit to fall into. So anyway, we're doing that. We're, going to the Prado, which is like the big art museum. We're going to the Retiro, which is like the Central Park of Madrid. We're just doing all this awesome stuff. Then we decide to rent a car and do some driving.
Mm-hmm. Drive around the countryside a little bit.
Drive all through southern Spain. Rent the car. We're going to all these, really amazing old towns. Places like one place is called Segovia. They have a big castle there. Looks kind of like the Disney castle, and we discovered that we were really into spelunking. Just by happenstance,
that's neat.
there's this like cave.
That's a weird hobby to fall into.
Can we pause there?
Unless you
Can we
literally
unpack
fall
that?
into it.
Like, I found out accidentally I'm really into spelunking. Sounds like. So anyway, I found myself trapped in a cave.
I
and
fell in a hole.
fucking loved it.
It was the greatest thing I've ever experienced.
Well, it's that might be overselling it to call it spelunking, but
But caves are fascinating.
basically
You found some cool caves that were cool to explore.
yeah, just like happened upon. We're walking down some road. We're like, "What's that? Like, it looks like a cave.
Looks
Let's
like
go
a
check
fucking
it
death
out."
trap.
Yeah.
And
Let's
so
go
we-
in it.
Have an adventure.
You know,
You
and
ever
then
seen the
we're-
movie The Descent? Check it out sometime.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
That movie is so good. You shut your whore mouth, Dallas.
It was good in a bad way. It met me halfway there.
Fair. It's a creature feature, but like its sense of claustrophobia and the
yes,
efficiency
yes.
it uses its sets and the fucking like action lady violence against one another and the backstabbing. I'm like, oh, this is delicious.
I've never really considered myself to be claustrophobic, but it's something about being in a tight space underground that makes me concerned.
Well, it's a human condition where you don't
yeah.
want to be trapped like
Right.
that.
I mean, it's pretty normal. I'm
There's
just saying.
a horrible movie called Sanctum, which is by James Cameron, which is
Oh.
about cave diving and
Didn't
like
he almost kill his actor son filming that?
I would believe it. Like looking at what, oh fuck, like it's National Geographic level cinematography, with soap opera level acting.
Yeah.
it is a violent whiplash of a film all in one go, and it's a horrible movie. But it was also like I never, if there's a cave and there's water, fuck that. Like never ever do
I
it.
hate caves and water. Why would I combine them?
Exactly. Anyway, I'm sorry for derailing.
No,
Yes.
not at all. So, yeah, continuing with the cave theme, we even went to a town called Ciudad de Cuevas, City of Caves, which after, we'd been to 3 or 4 different caves, which we started looking for caves, and then we see a sign on the side of the road that says City of Caves. We're just like,
it's a literal sign.
yeah.
But you misread the sign. It was actually not, instead of a city of it was Ciudad of Cuevas.
Cuevas.
It was Ciudad de Huevos. So, city of eggs.
City of eggs. I had so many omelets, and the frittatas don't even get me started.
City of you show.
Like,
I mean,
well,
I'd go there too. I just give them
This
all.
city wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
That I still think about the breakfast we had at Tokeland with the eggs Benedict with the crab
Oh,
on top of
yeah.
it.
That
like
sounds amazing.
at least once a week.
Nice.
Are you still doing your
especially
birthday there? Because
since
I so
can't chew.
fucking want
Yeah,
that
dude.
Eggs Benedict with crab.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've
now
been
I'm gonna
talking
do,
about
I'm
it
gonna
for
go
like
back.
a year.
Yeah.
And if I get there,
It's so good.
and
I
it's
think about it all the time.
underwhelming, I will hold you personally fucking
If this doesn't meet
responsible.
every one of my expectations, I will personally come to your house and smear my leftovers on your wall.
And I'll break your kneecaps.
But then they have the hotel dog Hank, and you can pet him.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I'm looking so much forward to that. So much forward. I can grammar so good.
So we're headed to the city of
Ciudad
de Cuevas.
Sí, claro.
We're there.
Anyway, that's really just an aside, but
But you really dug and
We were
found
in-
a weird hobby of caves.
yeah,
Which is cool. And then you never know what you're going to find when you're exploring.
Death.
yeah.
Death in caves.
Well, you know. Only like 60% of the time. I'm willing to roll those dice.
And yeah, so we're cruising around, just freestyling. We didn't really have any particular route, just
Yeah.
going wherever the wind blows. And
Dig
This
it.
was a buddy of yours from here, and then you.
correct.
Oh, okay, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. And so cruising around, went to Granada, went to the Alhambra, which that was one of my favorite places. And I'm trying to think, this was like probably 2004. G.W. Bush era. Everyone,
Good times, you're
everyone in the
Everyone's
world.
favorite time.
It's like put a Canadian flag on your backpack so nobody
Oh,
knows
yeah.
you're an American kind of thing.
Yeah,
and now
I
it's
remember
like
this.
put a fucking like what flag can you put in your backpack where people won't assume you're from North America at all?
Or England, because they're pretty pissed at them, too.
Yeah, it's like I'm Australian, but I don't have an accent.
Switzerland. They're always neutral, so
It's true.
there you go.
Welcome to Zach's political joke corner.
Hey.
But I mean, in general, like even if people knew you're an American, I found people to be like pretty gracious, and they would tell you that George Bush was an idiot, but
You're like, I
But they were-
agree.
but they were cool. I mean, it's just different culture. Like everybody goes to the town square at night and
They actually have
talks
community that's
and,
there.
you read the newspaper or whatever
Weird.
they do. It's
That's so
super cool.
seems nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we're cruising around, and then since we're in southern Spain, we're getting sort of closer to the Straits of Gibraltar, and I'm like, hey, I got a crazy idea. Let's go to Morocco, because at the time I was one of the authors I was really into. I don't even know how to pronounce his name properly. Paul Bowles or whatever, Bowles.
I think you're pretty close on that, actually.
Yeah, he was like a kind of a Beat Generation
Yeah, he's a beatnik dude.
expat who lived in Morocco and like
Hung around with Burroughs and
exactly
that whole crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
smoked weed and wrote
No,
stories and stuff. And
He was too groovy,
not
man.
that.
Kiff, as he called it. I don't know.
Keef?
Kiff.
Kiff?
Kiff?
Yeah. Anyway,
KAF?
Funky.
yeah, whatever that means. Anyway,
That probably means
So he's this hip
cannabis in
dude
some other
living in
language.
Morocco.
yeah, I mean he's dead.
Probably has a fez on.
Yeah, probably.
Fezzes are cool, okay?
They are fucking cool. That's why I want one.
So then we decided, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Let's go to Morocco, eat some, Moroccan food, and
Hell yeah.
just check out the scene. And so we drive down to this port city. It's called Algeciras. Kind of just like kind of not a great place.
So like a little fishing village.
Is
I'm
it the
kind of
Tacoma
assuming.
of Spain?
It's more like Tacoma than a fishing
Yes,
village.
got it.
Cool.
But,
So I'm thinking old
every-
world, and I just have to
Yeah.
think
every
shitty
time I
port
travel,
town.
every time I travel
no
somewhere,
disrespect to the city of
I
Destiny.
know.
I like Tacoma. But
Me too, but it's just an ongoing joke I have whenever I go somewhere else. I try and find the Tacoma version of that place. So, like Tacoma of
Yeah, right.
Ireland is Cork, Ireland.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
What's
Uh,
the Seattle of Ireland?
This would be more like
oh, Galway.
Galway?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's literally the sister city.
Well, but that doesn't mean it's the Seattle
Never
of
mind.
Ireland.
Yeah. Well, more Dublin then.
Yeah, it's
Dublin,
probably
okay.
say Dublin, kind of hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we go down there and basically park the car, walk on the ferry. It's a big ferry. I want to say it's a pretty long ferry ride. It's like
Yeah, the Straits of Gibraltar are surprisingly big, or it's a long
right.
travel time.
I want to say it's about 2 hours. maybe.
Yeah.
Is
To
my
go
rec-
just around past them? Are the Straits of Gibraltar like the Straits is like a narrow waterway?
Yes, exactly.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Das Boot?
Yes.
There's
I have
a
not.
line in the movie where they're in the sub and they're like trying to go through the Straits of Gibraltar, and the guy says, "Straits of Gibraltar, it's tighter than a virgin. It's going to take more than a can of Vaseline to get through there."
Beautiful.
Oh, I'm adding that movie to my movie list.
It's really long, and
It's not bad. It's an Alec Baldwin joint from the 90s.
no,
like,
this is like the original one.
Oh, you're talking
like,
the 60s one.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
They said that in a 1960s movie?
I don't know what year, but probably
Maybe
the
70s.
60s.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway,
Damn, because I just watched Hunt for Red October, and like, there's no way something like that would be in Hunt for Red October.
But no, so Spain is right above like the continent of Africa. It's that little strip of water that leads into the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
so you get on the ferry, and it's kind of like this melting pot of like African people and European people, and a couple of North American people, and
random white
Two
guys sprinkled
North
in.
American.
yeah. And so we're just trying to glean whatever information we can, to kind of anyone we can talk to, just like, what do where should we go? What do we do?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And my memory is a little fuzzy on this one, but so you have to essentially kind of go through customs, but you kind of do it on the ferry or something weird. There's this guy he has a table, and this guy was like straight out of a movie, like, he's kind of like ruggedly handsome. He could be Spanish, could be Moroccan.
Mm-hmm. That beautiful
Could
olive
be-
skin
yeah,
tone.
and,
Yeah, okay.
Has the beard, and he's smoking his unfiltered cigarette, just like lazily stamping people's stuff, and
Yeah.
so he's like,
That's
where-
a typical government worker.
right? He's like, "Where are you from?" Blah blah blah, and he's like, well, "What are you doing in Morocco?" Like,
Just
man,
passing
we're
through.
we're gonna go get some food, and
Want to get this thing called
Whatever.
it's called keef?
yeah. And he's like, "Okay, where are you staying?" We're like, "We don't know." He's like, "Wait a minute, you don't know where you're staying?" And we're
Nah,
like,
man.
No, he's like, no, you don't do that.
You're not on my journey, dude.
You don't do that in Tangier. Like, if you've never been there, you don't do that. And we're like, well, what do you mean? He's like, here's what you do. You get there, you go to a cab. You only get in the cab that has this emblem on it. And he gets a napkin out and draws, I can't remember what it looked like. These are the ones
Swastika?
that are... It was not a swastika.
It kind of looks like a middle finger, but
He's like, you get into that cab. Don't get into any other cab. Don't go with anybody else who comes over and tells you to come with them.
Oh, get in my cab. I'll give you the cheapest rate.
He's like,
I'll take
no.
you wherever you want to go.
Get in one of those cabs. You tell them, I want to go to Hotel Ibis. And Hotel Ibis is like, I don't know that much about it, but my understanding is it's kind of like the European, like, whatever, Holiday Inn or like some
Hyatt
just
or Holiday,
something,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like a known
Here's
quantity.
here's
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
chain you'll feel comfortable
Right.
in.
Right. Here's the chain that exists internationally that will also have a standard of practice.
Right. And he's like, do these things and you'll be fine.
And you won't be murdered.
And so, and
Murdered much. Maybe murdered just a little bit.
A little bit.
and so they have, like a area on the ferry where you could get snacks or food, but we're like, no. We're going to wait because we are going to have the biggest Moroccan feast.
Fuck yeah.
When we get to Tangier. It is going to be off the hook. Let's just wait for it. So we're all getting really hungry. But anyway, eventually we get there and everybody's, queuing up to get off the ferry. And it's just like, my recollection is you're at the dock and it's like, you've seen like the Indiana Jones movies where they're like in the
It's just madness. It's
they're in the
bedlam.
bazaar at
it's just
A sea of people.
Yeah.
everybody's like hey,
Screaming and
screaming.
yeah.
And so
Spices everywhere.
everybody's like pushing. Yes, everyone's like pushing off the ferry, and I kind of get separated a little bit from my.
You're trying to get a
friends.
path where you're like, do you know how important I am?
I mean, you can see the different cabs and cars lined up, but then there's just people with stuff they're trying to sell you, like, hey, do you want to buy a snake or whatever,
You're like, yes, I do. I do want that snake.
And they're,
It will be delicious. Thank you.
my friend.
I will pay you
Yeah,
$1.50 American money.
Yeah, anytime you go to an international market and you look like you're not from there, you will get the pushers.
Accosted.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Don't take the mixtape.
Unless it's a snake.
Yeah,
if it's
right.
a snake, take it.
Can take the snake.
Always take the snake.
And so, anyway, it's kind of a little bit of chaos, and I see my friends, they get into this cab, and so I'm pushing over, and I'm looking at the cab, I'm like, this doesn't have the right logo on this cab. Yeah. And they're like, come on, get in. And like all these people are like around me, like, my friend, you come with me. No, come with me, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's intense.
And so I'm like, shit, they're in there. Okay, I'll just get in the cab. And then this guy's like, he's like, same deal. Like, my friends, where do you want to go? I take you anywhere you want to go. And
And your friends are like, oh, just, wherever's good.
and
Where do you want to go?
My friend, I want to take you to the organ farm.
so, we're like, yeah, we want to go to Hotel Ibis. No. You don't. Hotel Ibis, you don't want to go to Hotel Ibis. No good. No good.
Shit.
No good. By this point, we're kind of driving down these funky roads. And
All right,
like,
so
I'm going to die.
So you're in the intro of a horror movie. I get it.
And so we're like, no, yeah, we want to go to Hotel Ibis. We're going to go get some food. We're good. He's like, well, no. You don't want to go to Hotel Ibis. What kind of food do you want? We're like, like good Moroccan stuff, like some whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you
Couscous
got.
and tabbouleh and whatever.
Some spices and shit. I don't know. He's like, I'm not Moroccan. What do you think? I know the fucking menu. I was like, just feed me food, okay? Fuck. God damn it.
Well, you're just...
Like halfway across the world just to have people ask me what the fuck I don't know, okay?
I'm on vacation, damn it. Well, you're just sitting there with a fez with the price tag still on it, hitting you in the face.
And so, he won't relent. We're just like, okay, well, he's like, look, I take you to the best hotel.
It's called Buckets of Shit Hotel. But they
Best
give
hotel
you your own bucket.
Called My Brother Owns This Place.
Exactly. Best hotel, my brother's hotel. You love it. I take you there. You don't like it? I take you to Hotel Ibis.
You pull up, it's like literally a hole in the ground. You're like, I don't like it.
You haven't seen the turn down service.
Is that where I turn this down and be like, no, thank you. Please, somewhere else. Fuck.
So we're driving through all these kind of narrow cobblestone streets, and all these stucco structures. And, it's kind of cool, but, we're a little bit wary. Mm-hmm. And, anyway, so we pull up next to this building. Here we are, my friends. This is the place. I take you in. I show you.
Sir, this is a slaughterhouse.
They'll give you a very nice room. Show you the best place to eat. Best place. Like, okay, we'll check it out.
Best place to eat. Sir, this is a slaughterhouse.
So we pull up
Nothing
next
fresher.
to the building. We're pulling up. It's kind of an incline. It's a fairly steep incline. And the guy gets out of the cab, closes the door. We're still in the back. We're just opening the doors. The taxi starts to roll backwards down the hill.
Oh, fuck.
And
I don't like it.
No.
I'm in the back seat. My buddy is in the front. His girlfriend is sitting next to me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh shit. And the cab driver guy realizes it's starting. So he's like running, trying to open the door. He's like, no. He's trying to open the door. Doesn't get to it.
Oh my god.
The door is kind of partly ajar. The cab comes, sideswipes this like brand new Mercedes sitting there,
no.
rips the door off the cab.
Oh, no.
And keeps going down the street.
Yeesh.
I jump kind of up to the front seat and kind of grab the steering wheel.
Wait, so he gets out. You're all in the car.
So you're literally
he's
back.
running.
He's chasing the
He's
car that you
chasing-
are in
we
as
are
it is
in the car.
careening
And Jacob
down.
so you're backseat driving,
I'm
literally.
reaching up and I'm trying to grab the wheel, and I turn it. The cab turns, slams into the side of the hotel.
His brother's hotel.
His brother's hotel. Door torn off. Back quarter panel smashed to shit.
Well, there's your problem.
And you're
And,
like, sir, if you could take us to Hotel Ibis.
if the engine still runs,
Because obviously this is a slaughterhouse.
And so
Oh man.
we're like, so we're like, fuck, I'm like, you guys all right? We're like, yeah, we're all right. And this guy is freaking out. He's like, oh my God. And
well, he
people
just
are
ruined
coming-
it. He just ruined 2 livelihoods of his family.
So he's coming out.
God.
All these people are coming out of the hotel, and then the guy who I think owned the other car comes out, and they're screaming at each other. And we get out, and we're just like, shit. What do we? Should we just like
just
run down
walk
the
away.
street?
Walk away.
But they're not really surrounding us, but there's a lot of people kind of around. So it
Yeah,
felt like
there's a
we
scene.
couldn't-
Let's
Yeah.
call
Just
it.
pick up your bags like.
Well, thanks for the tour.
Well, we're off to Hotel Ibiza.
You did give us an out.
I don't like it. It has a
You know
hole
what?
in
Fuck
it.
this. I'm calling a lift.
This was pre-lift. So anyway, the guy kind of chills out a little bit. Clearly, he is not happy though,
I mean,
and he's like,
not
okay,
your fault."
no, don't worry. You go in, you get your room. It'd be very nice, best hotel. So we go in.
he's crushed on the inside.
So we go in, and people are kind of mean mugging us a little bit. Or
I
at
can't
least
imagine why.
that's my perception.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, yeah, we'll take a room. How much? 30 euros, whatever. We give them the money. And they're like, okay, we'll show you the room. Take us down.
I didn't realize Morocco's on the euro.
I think everybody will take the euro prefer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's just like
close enough.
it's money.
If
Yeah.
you're having ferry traffic between Spain and Morocco, they're
That's
probably
fair,
going to
that's
take.
fair, that's fair.
It's like how some places take Canadian currency around here.
Yeah.
So,
Nowhere I know.
No, that's more of a
Assholes.
Michigan thing, actually.
I
Sorry.
get those Canadian pennies in my rolls of pennies, and I'm like, "Can you take these?" And they're like, "No,
No, they're
I'm
literally
like,
worth
"Hey,
nothing.
so I got this Canadian coin in a roll of coins that you gave me. Can you exchange?" They're like, "No,
Sir, it's technically worthless.
it's technically worthless. We gave it to you, but we won't take it back. Suck it, loser."
Sorry.
So we're in there. We're checking out the room. I'm kind of like at this point. I'm a little.
Jarred.
My mood is a little elevated.
Was it the car accident?
Yeah.
Adrenaline was going a little, and so I'm just scoping.
I mean, don't
the scene.
undersell yourself. Like you're like, so I was fucking pissed.
So I'm checking it out. I'm like looking at the room. Like, okay, ground level window, no locks.
No,
Door,
no.
door to the room, no lock.
But they have free HBO.
Scoping out. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Thanks for the room. We're cool. We paid you. We just need a minute to gather ourselves. They had a little like sort of veranda area outside, and so we go out there, and we're just to get a moment away from
All the
prying
The
people.
insanity.
eyes. And I'm like, all right, guys, what are we doing here? Because I ain't staying here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
It was only $30, right?
yeah, I'm like, we got to figure out how to get out of here without them. Like,
Noticing, essentially.
we just fucked up that guy's cab, probably in his mind. We just fucked up somebody else's car, and we just smashed this hotel.
Yeah.
Like they could.
We need to hightail
They put us in a room
out
with no
of
locks
this
for a
place.
reason.
Yeah, right.
And maybe that's just me being paranoid, but that's
No,
what
that's
I
not
was
right.
feeling at the
I
time.
would safely, I think, with confidence say that instinct is simply you having your wits about you.
Yeah. No, you can definitely, I'm sure, feel, like you said, all the eyes on you and just kind of just... Ugh.
And so I'm like, all right, well, let's figure this out. Let's just like let it cool down for a little bit here, and then we'll tell them we're going to go get some food. Go,
And then we'll just get the
bail
fuck
out of here.
I'm
And,
just gonna
And they're like, "Where you go? We're gonna go get some food with all of our luggage.
I'm just going to go out for a pack of cigarettes. I'll be right back.
I love you. I'll be back soon."
Billy, you're the man of the house now.
And so as we're having this discussion, I turn and I look at Rebecca, and I'm talking to her, but I can see like in her eyes, like it's like she's checked out, right? And I'm like, what's going on? Are you all right? You all right? And all of a sudden just, phoom, she just collapses right
Drops.
there. Just drops right there.
What?
And is like out cold, right?
Wow.
She's lost consciousness.
Yep.
All of a sudden.
Due to the stress, I'm sure, of the situation.
So we're like, oh shit, we hadn't eaten because we were waiting for
Oh,
our
I also forgot
awesome
about that, too.
Moroccan meal. So like low blood sugar.
Her
adrenaline,
father was
like-
Dutch. Her mother was a fainting goat.
So we're like, oh shit. And then they see that happen, and the hotel people, and they're coming over and they're getting water, and she kind of comes to, but she's out of it. Hopefully she doesn't hear this. Like, she pisses herself. Like,
Whoa.
So
This
I mean,
serious.
that's a significant loss of consciousness
Yeah.
when you're just like, I'm unconscious, and also I've lost all bowel control.
No, the body just says fuck it and gives up.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's when I was just like, we're fucking out of here.
Oh.
Pick her
That's
up,
the final
get her,
straw.
Like, get her arm over my shoulder. The hotel people are like, no, where are you going? I'm like, we're fucking out of here.
I've seen
Later.
enough weird shit today.
And to add to it, hopefully this isn't like too Islamophobic sounding, but right at that moment, it's like call to prayer up in the tower. It's like,
So I can, yeah.
I'm not going to imitate it because that would not be
That's
so.
very, I would imagine that would be very eerie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like-
because Morocco's a majority Muslim country,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they play it over the loudspeakers
But
in the
it's-
cities.
It's
like-
definitely it'll cement itself in your mind as being like, this fucked up shit's happening, and all of a sudden,
Right.
like, what is happening?
no, you couldn't
But
write a
it's-
better if it was a movie.
But it's like dusk, sun's going down, call to prayer. She's just passed out, all this stuff. I'm like, we're fucking out of here. So we just start cruising down the street. I'm like, what are we going to do? And Ben and I are talking, and Rebecca's kind of out of it. We're just kind of having to help her. And
And you only there's 3 people with you?
yeah, just the three of us.
There's the 3 of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you still haven't eaten at this point.
right. I'm like, I don't know, man.
And
What do
someone's getting hangry.
we, like,
And you didn't have a Snickers.
I'm kind of done, man. Like, Hotel Ibis is like way on the other side of town. I don't know how the hell to get there. I don't trust anyone all of a sudden. And,
All of a sudden.
and at the same time, like, we're walking down the street and people are coming up doing the same shit. My friend, do you want this thing? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy
Yeah.
that? And this one guy won't leave us
My
alone.
friend, one snakehead.
I'm just like, if I give you 10 euros, will you fucking leave us alone? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, here, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck off.
And so finally, we're just like, we're going back to the ferry.
yeah, no.
So get the fuck out.
Just take the L on this one.
So at this point, it's like pretty much dark, and we're like running down these streets trying to carry Rebecca, and we're getting down there, and we don't know where we're going. We're like, where's the ferry? Which way to the ferry? And people are like, you better hurry. This is the last ferry. It's leaving.
Cool.
And
Last ferry of the week.
of the night, basically.
Yeah.
So we like run down there and get in the line, and they're like, you're not going to make it. We're like, please, we got to get on this thing. And anyway, we end up getting on it and get back on, and we're just like, fuck, that was crazy. And and the same dude is on the ferry.
And he's like, what did you learn?
He's like,
Same guy.
he's like, he looks at us, he's just like, what
The fuck happened to you guys?
And we like kind of tell him, and he
one of you
just-
was unconscious, the other one's missing their left shoe for some reason.
I told you where to go.
Yeah, that was it. He's like, I told you not to do that, but you did that. So anyway,
man.
we're on the ferry. We go back to Al Saharis. By the time we get back to Al Saharis, I don't know what time it was, like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
fucking toast. We're like done.
Yeah, because you guys had driven there in addition.
And so we get the car, and we're like, God, we just got to crash. We got to eat and crash somewhere.
We
Well,
haven't eaten.
Yeah.
there's like nothing. We're just driving. We can't find any place.
No
Yeah.
Wendy's.
No, nothing like that. So we just are driving.
Spanish Wendy's.
Felt like forever, and we see this like funky looking hotel by the side of the road.
Hotel Ibis.
It was not Hotel Ibis, and we
Two
pull in,
locations.
and we go to the front desk, and it's like some young guy, and he was real cool, and we're like telling him, yeah, we're super tired. Do you have anything? He's like, oh yeah, we got 2 rooms for you, no problem. We're like, man, we're just like, they didn't have a restaurant there or anything. We're like, we're really hungry. And he's like, I got you. He's got like some, whatever, I don't remember, some bread and cheese and stuff. And we're like, any chance you've got like some wine or anything? And he's like, I got you. And he like brings us a bottle of vodka or something.
Oh,
and then,
shit.
And then he's like, do you want something else? We're like, what do you mean something else? And he like,
You want girls? I have girls.
How much for the women?
anyway, so he brings us some weed too. And we
Oh, shit.
sat there
Nice.
with this dude and smoked some weed, drank some wine and stuff. And we're just like, everything's good again. We're all happy. And
Oh,
we
beautiful.
go to sleep in this place and it's just like, this is
You wake
great.
up, but you're in Morocco. You never left.
But then finally wake up in the morning. I wake up and I'm like kind of out of it. And I look around. I realize the room I'm in is like, it's all stucco, kind of old, funky old building. It's like totally fucking moldy.
Cool.
Oh.
And like,
Oh no!
like my sinuses are all stuffed up and it's like super dirty and gross.
Yum.
I didn't notice it. I was
Spores,
just
my
like,
favorite.
I'm just like, God, to get our stuff. I'm like, we got to get out of here and get back to Madrid. This is
But you
like-
didn't have free breakfast. You scrape off wall.
So that's kind of the end of that part of the story. It's just,
Yeah.
So what would you say you learned from that
Yes.
experience?
Always go to Hotel Ibiza.
you know,
Listen to the rugged, handsome man on the boat.
I feel like certainly not everybody who's a tourist and goes to Tangier they don't go to Hotel Ibis. It's not like the place is some
Like a
dangerous
magical.
war zone or something, but I think you just have to be smart about it. Got to be smart.
Yeah.
You got to eat
Thoughtful.
your dinner.
Yeah.
Don't skip your dinner.
Yeah.
Do not get in the wrong cab.
Mm-hmm.
And
And when that cab crashes, you are free to bail.
yeah,
You'd be like, well, we're going to take our luggage and we're going to
Yeah.
walk away.
You have fun dealing with this whole fucking thing.
Like, so do you have liability?
You have Geico?
right.
Ooh.
Sometimes I wonder what happened to that guy and
Yeah.
like how they sorted that out with the other
Probably cut
car
off one of his hands.
Probably.
No.
We get one download in Morocco.
All of a sudden, and he's trying to fidget with his phone with one hand.
my only experience with Morocco is in the film Naked Lunch.
Ooh.
Oh, that's Morocco.
It's
I fell
well,
asleep.
It's not
passed out like
it's
your
not
friend.
Morocco. It is a soundstage painted like
There
Morocco.
it is.
I don't know what Morocco's actually like because that movie is a fucking drug-fueled
Hellscape.
nightmare hellscape
Yeah.
Great
with
book.
giant centipede people and
But now I'm-
cannibalistic insect typewriters that have anus mouths that you rub drugs into. So, you know, I don't know anything about Morocco, it
Hey,
turns out.
If
I like
you're
the
so
book.
tired but you can't sleep, watch Naked Lunch.
Oh, yeah, it'll put you right out.
Yeah.
He'll just get confused and give up on being conscious. But well, that was
That
pretty.
was a hell of a
excellent.
tale. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Not too bad. Have you guys ever had a bocadillo?
Bocadillo.
It sounds familiar. Pray tell, what is a bocadillo?
A bocadillo is a Spanish sandwich. Pretty simple baguette sandwich.
Dig it.
Generally has ham and cheese.
Cheese and ham.
Yeah, exactly. It's very specific. It's like specific kind of Spanish ham that gets sliced super thin.
Oh, is it that really aged, nice?
Yeah,
there's
the
a
good
name
stuff
for it.
is
it's
the-
very expensive.
Is the Iberico ham.
Iberico ham,
Yeah,
yes, it is
and,
fucking
like,
delicious.
Manchego cheese. Typically, the way you make it is you cut the baguette, you cut a tomato in half, rub the tomato on the bread,
Just-
put the cheese and ham on there. It's real simple, but
And you
anyway.
use the rest of the tomato. You just be like, I'm going to cut you open, rub you on some bread, and then toss you away.
We got the essence of tomato. That's all we need.
But anyway, I was unfamiliar with bocadillos until I went to Spain and ate a whole shitload of them when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
I
in
would
Spain. Bocadillo and a Fanta, which Fanta in Spain is a little different than Fanta here. It's more like, that drink, Orangina.
Mm.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah.
almost like...
You can get it from Mexican food trucks a lot of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little bit pulpy. It's more like juice than just like soda. Anyway, ate a lot of bocadillos. Years later, my buddy and I opened a restaurant, little cafe thing, where we serve bocadillos.
Dope. Like
Because
a
we
little
were
pop-up.
so into bocadillos.
Huh.
And this ties into this story, but also ties into, so what did you learn? And I learned
All right.
that the restaurant business is a very tough business.
Sure is.
Yes, it is.
How many bocadillos did you sell?
Sold a lot of bocadillos.
Where was it? Like a food truck style, or where was this?
No, it was on Capitol Hill.
Really?
Like,
Oh, good.
Damn.
yeah, on Bellevue. Like, kind of by, do you know where, let's see. It's kind of down the hill from Broadway, like the north end of Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What was it called?
It's called Chico Madrid.
Mm.
Hmm.
Nice.
Anyway,
So
Yeah.
you brought a little home with you.
yep.
How long did you guys last?
Had it for about a year. and
Okay, that's pretty good.
Sold it.
You
So,
sold it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not there anymore.
No, they changed the concept. The people,
Yeah.
the
Bummer.
guy who bought it, but
That's a shame because I love Spanish food. It's actually delicious.
yeah.
Huh.
So if I
Awesome.
would have been thinking, I would have made us some bocadillos.
Mm.
Oh.
They are damn good.
Yeah.
So bocadillo, is that mouthful in Spanish?
Like boca is mouth, dio means small, like little
Small bites.
Bite
Yes,
size, yeah.
basically.
Huh.
But yeah,
Well, very cool.
Fun.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
that ruled.
That was a great story.
I really like the back seat driving comment. There's a reason why my car only has two doors, so you can't fucking drive from the back seat.
You
Uh-huh.
know why
Zip
chicken
zing.
coops have 2 doors?
So you don't get trapped inside of them.
No. Ooh, great callback. No, they have
zing.
2 doors because they have 4 doors. They'd be chicken sedans.
ooh,
Oh, I get it.
Hey.
I get it now.
Speaking of food in foreign countries, one time I went to Iceland and it was very wonderful, and I'll talk about it another time in detail. But
I'm going in 3 weeks.
fuck yes, it's gonna be amazing. But my friend and I, who were traveling there, we were kind of wandering around the downtown area of Reykjavik, and we find a Irish pub.
Give it to me.
Yeah, an Irish pub in Reykjavik. We're like, sweet, Irish food. Do you like Irish food? Yeah, I like Irish food. I'm like, sweet. You know, it was like, because you don't find Icelandic food unless you
Right.
go to very specific places.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
right.
You can get.
isn't it like rotten shark or something weird like that?
So that Carl is like the quote unquote like delicacy. But it doesn't taste good. No one actually likes it, and it's only there to feed the tourists.
Like
Right?
lutefisk
Nice.
from
Like lutefisk or whale, also in Iceland.
Yeah,
like you can get whale meat as a steak, but it's
mostly
only
just
served
fat.
to tourists. It's not. People don't really
Jesus.
eat it.
You could just eat a tub of Crisco and get the same effect.
Apparently, it tastes like beef, but I wouldn't know. I didn't have it. But so we're like, ooh, cool, because you see Thai food, you see Pakistani food, you see pizza, you have burgers. There's all sorts of food from all over the world.
So excited to eat.
It's
When I'm
also
there.
really fucking expensive.
I'm sure.
Everything is really spendy. But we're like, cool, Irish pub, Irish food.
Yeah,
Get
easy
us beef
peasy.
stew, potatoes. Perfect. We love carbs. Carbs
Exactly.
are our favorite.
Yeah.
We just put carbs in our face. So we go into this Irish pub, and there's this woman there who, like all the other people in Reykjavik who work in a customer-facing job, don't give a fuck about customer service. There's like, hi.
Oh no.
We're like, hey, can we have a seat? Yes.
I
Okay,
guess.
cool. Because they don't have a tipped culture, so
Yeah.
there's no real.
They're actually paid a livable wage.
They're paid a livable wage, but they don't depend on tips from the patrons to
In Iceland?
supply. Yes,
This is very important.
yes. They don't tip. You don't when you go to
don't tip?
Iceland. Do not tip.
Not even like $1 for a beer?
No, there is no tipping. It is not a
For
thing.
nothing, yeah.
Why? How? Okay, continue.
Because
It's
our
not-
system is fucked up.
Our
in
system
there.
is fucked up. We only
I feel
tip
like we're
people
in the
because
Reservoir Dogs, where he's like, "No, I'm not gonna fucking tip."
the only reason we tip people is because way back when we tried to keep certain people from making a livable wage because they were the only jobs available to certain people, if you get what I mean.
Yep.
Black people.
And women.
And women. So we're like, let's just tip them so that the employers don't have to spend enough money to like actually give them a wage. It's fine. Anyway, so we're in Reykjavik. We go to this Irish pub. The lady's like, hello, please sit somewhere. I don't care.
She's talking like Bjork and just very robotic and very...
Yes, just like, welcome to Iceland.
There it is.
We have Irish pub here in Reykjavik. Reykjavik, as they would say. I don't know. And she has this tiny little
Get
fat
it download in
miniature.
Iceland. And then nasty email.
They're like, I thought your accent was too perfect. I did not appreciate.
You know too much.
Yeah. But she has this fat little min pin that's just like, it's like, hey, you American fuck. I see you got food. You got food coming. I'm going to sit in your lap. And I want you to feed me that food. It's beautiful.
So speaking
So
to
it's
like
sat
Son
in
of
your
Sam.
lap?
Yeah. He sits in my lap. I have pictures I can show you guys.
Oh, okay.
But of this dog, like, looking at the food in my hand and being like, fuck you. I'm sitting in your lap. I don't give a fuck about you. I want that food.
Right.
But so we look at the menu and it's like pizza.
The
says
national food of
pizza.
Ireland.
Yeah, we're like,
Is it a potato pizza?
No, it's just a regular.
Just a regular ass
They had
pizza.
regular pepperoni pizza, cheese pizza, and probably they had like a meat lovers or like a no, they didn't have meat lovers. It's Iceland. They don't believe in meat. I don't know. I'm making shit up. They had like a veggie something, and we're sitting there looking at the menu like, the fuck is this? I wanted stew and potatoes or something.
Something remotely Irish.
So we're like,
a man
we're talking
crying
about, like,
into a Guinness.
Yeah, exactly. No, they had Irish beers, they had Guinness on the tap and everything, and it was all done like wood posts and stuff with like the carving, like to make it look like an
Yeah,
Irish. But
so
it
it looked
looked
real
like it
authentic.
looked real authentic, and then they were serving pizza.
And then fucking pizza.
And so me and my friend were like, we're gonna have to ask. So she comes over. We're like, hey, so it's an interesting choice being an Irish restaurant and serving pizza.
Excuse me, miss. What the
And she's
fuck?
like, oh. She kind of chuckles as if we just have overlooked something obvious. She's like, no, you see. Oh, no. We are an Irish pub.
Cool.
As if that answered our fucking question.
The food is irrelevant. We're an Irish pub.
Irish pub. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so it's like a weird. Just
So you know what we did?
what?
We had some goddamn pizza.
They got you. Yeah.
We're just like, we're already here.
know what? Fuck
We've bonded with this tiny miniature
I want to go
Doberman.
there. Yeah, if you send me the
Yeah,
info,
it's
if you know of it.
it's still there. I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't bother to change their food menu, they didn't bother to change the aesthetic of the bar. So
And it was under like the sidewalk was under construction. We were there, so it was just like
Mm-hmm.
we're still open for pizza business.
All we
pizza
have
and
is
Guinness,
pizza.
which sounds fine.
yeah,
To me, but
I mean-
yeah. So what I learned is don't necessarily assume that a restaurant that fashions itself as a whatever country it's from that they will actually serve anything similar to food from or even pretending to be from that country.
yeah, when I went to Ireland, it was
All pizza.
So much pizza.
Now that you say it, there was a lot of there was zero, I didn't see any pizza. I would have ate it if I found it, but no, it's just
Implying if you just
it was
found a
just
box.
the same as here. Like it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
If anything, there was less options, but the breakfast was better. I don't know what they put in that fucking shit, but after I ate breakfast in the morning, I was a whole new person. I haven't felt that way in a long time. I was on top of the world.
Well, what's an
Had
Irish
energy.
breakfast?
Yeah.
I don't know what What
It's
are the
like a
Irish
cup
eat?
I
of
think
tea.
it's called cocaine.
They may have put cocaine in there. No, it's just sausage, eggs, like a different kind of bacon than we have, like
Mm-hmm.
the fat, chunky bacon,
Oh, nice.
and beans. Like,
Nice.
I love beans for breakfast.
Oh, that's
I
great.
thought that's normally it is an English
reading
thing.
Robert Picton and just eating beans for breakfast in your kitchen.
God damn it.
Sorry.
There's actually a place in Reykjavik that serves it's this cute little diner cafe place where it's like super narrow, where you walk in and it's just the bar space and that there's maybe a couple tables, and then you go upstairs and then there's like more seats, but it's around like the edge of the building. It's really strange. But they have a breakfast that is literally eggs, like fried eggs, hash browns, sausage, bacon, like all of the fatty, greasy things, starchy things, and then served with like a fucking Advil.
Oh, so it's a hangover.
It's
thing.
literally called the Hangover, and
there
it
you
is
go.
it is
Great.
all of that shit, and like they give you a pill.
That's
kinda
They can't
fun.
do that here, can they?
No, they
Oh,
cannot.
that's highly illegal.
That's great. Yeah, Advils are great. Ibuprofen. Well, thank you for attending Food Corners from around the world. Jacob, thank you for that story. That was pretty excellent.
Thanks for
really
having
great.
me.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
You also have a great voice for like speaking to a microphone, I will say.
Oh,
You do. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So you can send us an email at wdylearn@gmail.com. You can follow us on the Instagrams and the tweeting
And the Twitter.
Twitter. I don't even use it. It's so WDY Learn Pod. You can find us there. You can send us a story if you'd like us to read. We can Skype you in if you'd like to tell your story in a semi-live setting, because not everybody is allowed in my house.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
So that pretty much wraps it up for today. Jacob, did you have anything you wanted to mention or
Plug? Do you have anything you're
let's say-
working on? Anything you're proud of? Like that? I noticed you have a
Don't be
fresh,
too modest.
aggressive facial tattoo that you might want to talk about. It's
a bold choice, my man.
Here's why I did what I did, and fuck y'all haters.
Yeah, I'm an advocate of facial tattoos.
Perfect.
Just anything you will later regret. Just
course.
get it tattooed on your face.
Instantly.
Yeah. Don't think about it. Just go do it.
So that's why you have that
Think,
ski
just
mask.
do.
All right. Cool.
All right, on that note,
Yeah.
I'm Zach.
Well,
I'm Alex. And
I'm Dallas, and
Yeah.
that's Jacob.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. We love you.
Adios.
The So What Did You Learn podcast is brought to you by the So What Did You Learn network. Theme written and recorded by Jacob Rose. Our logo was designed by Stevie Van Bronckhorst. Further work of hers can be found at stevievanb.com.